Good evening. I'm Hamna Suri, counseling psychologist, practicing psychotherapist. I admire your presence to learn relaxation techniques. We have Dr. Bhupinder Singh Waraich with us, and she will speak on such a legendary subject, relaxation in health. I really welcome and my heartiest regards to Dr. Bhupinder Singh Waraich, our chief guest, for her willingness to share her work. And I really welcome students, and I can see few faculties here also. This subject has been a topic of discussion since long decades, and people have their own methodology to relax. When I look at the birds, I feel tranquility. I feel music in my ears. When I look at their dance, I feel excited. This word relaxation, it has a nice tranquility. We don't know the meaning of it. Is it coming from subconscious mind? Or is it happening consciously because of his pronunciation? Let's understand this and let's try to make it a part of our life. With this, I request our speaker to enlighten us. I would like to proceed with Dr. Satyam Agarwal to speak the work of our speaker.
Thank you, Bhavna. I'm very glad to have our speaker for today, Dr. B.K. Waraich, with us. And I'm also very happy to see a lot of participants here, especially Professor Kashyap is also here, who is the Dean of Faculty Affairs. Let me introduce Dr. Waraich. Dr. Waraich is currently associated with Fortis Hospital, Mohali, as a consultant psychiatrist. She did her MBBS and MD from Government Medical College, Patiala, and then senior residency from GMCH Sector 32 and PGI, Chandigarh. She worked as a psychiatrist under the District Mental Health Program in Department of Psychiatry, GMCH Sector 32, from 2001 to 2004. She worked in Toowoomba Base Hospital, Australia, for a year before joining as a consultant psychiatrist in Fortis, Mohali. Her areas of interest is in adolescent psychiatry and women-related issues, along with drug abuse, prevention in youngsters, etc. She believes in primary prevention and building community awareness and participation in drug abuse and mental health care. She regularly writes articles in newspapers and magazines to increase awareness about psychiatric disorders. She is fond of writing, reading, traveling, and bird watching. So thank you, Dr. Waraich, for accepting our invitation and taking out some time to enlighten our community. Thank you very much. And now please present your talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Satyam and Deepak ji and everyone for inviting me. Today I just want to, it's always much better when you can do this in person, because one, you have a bigger gathering and that person-to-person contact is so important. But I think one of the benefits of technology has been that even in these COVID times, at least people have been able to connect through technology. People have been able to make video calls to each other. Otherwise, there be so many people who have just not stepped out of their house for so many months. I think as younger people, maybe some of the students don't realize it, but some of the older people in our community have just not been stepping out of their houses. So technology has its benefits and drawbacks. So I was just saying that, all of you are at a young age, and this is the time when you have so much to look forward to. But still, sometimes what happens is that despite having so many years ahead of you where one can do so many things, at times people start getting bogged down by a number of factors in our life, because our life has become so fast paced now, like for example peer pressure, then the inner goals that we set for ourselves. Sometimes those inner goals may be uh, at times unrealistic. They may be realistic also, but why I say unrealistic is that because if suppose your goal is to be at the top of the class and a person is not being able to, or at times even their marks may fall more than they expected. But it's so important to have good coping skills and good ability to deal with these ups and downs. And that's something I think that is the core that these days we need to build up in people. So, one of the things is that yes, if you are relaxed, it will help you to cope with situations better. So, how do we become more relaxed in life? For that, we first need to understand that what is stress and how does it affect our body. So, stress, as we all know, could be due to anything. Could be due to uh, looking at oneself in the mirror and seeing a pimple there. It could be because of someone saying something to you. It could be academic. It could be physical stress and illness. So it can also be a personal experience triggered by your perception of the situation. So how we perceive situations makes a lot of difference. So some people perceive situations differently. Another person in the same situation may perceive it differently. So for example, there are many people admitted with COVID in the hospital. So some people get quite anxious and other people are able to deal with it and they're able to stay calm during their admission. So, what are these factors? What is positive stress? Positive stress is something that, we all need some kind of incentive, some kind of ambition to get us to various places in life and for us to do things in life. So, some bit of stress can be positive. What is tolerable stress? It could be a stressor, but because of family support or your basic coping skills, the brain recovers. What is toxic or excessive stress? Which actually ends up disrupting your brain architecture, and that is why then people are not able to deal with it. So, stressors could be very different. Like I already said, they could be body image, academics, lack of finances, problems in relationships, illness or death, poor time management, poor communication skills. And all of these lead to changes in our body. So, the stress response can lead to changes in your body, changes in your brain, and then eventually it can lead to cortisol release. So this cortisol release, which occurs because of the brain releasing corticotrophic releasing hormone, what this does is the cortisol can affect many different organs in your body. So, it is quite well known that these days your brain is very, very important. It's responsible for your mental health. And it's not just like sometimes we can't control our um, pancreas from secreting less insulin. Similarly, sometimes we can't control our brain releasing excess of certain chemicals, and we may need medication for those. But medication is another thing. But before medication, how can we deal with things? So, this is just a simple diagram to show that um, when you have a moderate amount of adrenaline release, that actually can help your body to adapt to stress. But when there is too much adrenaline release, that can weaken your prefrontal cortex. Your prefrontal cortex is the part of the brain that makes decisions, that does planning for the day. So when there's too much adrenaline release because of stress, that can actually weaken your decision making power. It can weaken your rational thinking, and it causes increased activity in the amygdala. So the amygdala is the part of the brain that deals with emotions. It is the part of the brain that contains traumatic memories. It is the part of the brain that reacts to fear, stress, any kind of danger. So this part becomes overactive when there is too much of stress. So, sorry, I went back. So these important structures of the brain are the parts which can cause anxiety, which are crucial for fear-related responses. And it's even been seen that early life stress can reshape your brain's response to stress, and it can even run across generations. Stress can also elevate your blood pressure. It can cause early onset heart disease. It's a well known fact that around 30 years back, we hardly used to see heart attacks at the age of 30. But now you often see people who may have angina or even a heart problem at the age of 30. So, yesterday also, I was called in to see this young person who was under a lot of stress, and he said that he had been unable to sleep for many days and his blood pressure just suddenly shot through the roof. So these are the things that can happen. And with a little bit of lifestyle modification, with a little bit of change in your way you perceive things, with adding a little bit of relaxation exercises and some physical activity in your daily routine, you may end up actually not getting a heart attack at 30 and delay it by 30 years. So I think your self awareness that of when you are dealing with stress is the first step, because you'll only start doing the relaxation exercises when you're aware that you need them, and when you're aware that it would help you. Because every day we tell, so many people discuss so many things, but they don't end up doing it. So the first step is to become aware. So, stress can also cause, as you all know, adjustment disorders. It can sometimes cause post traumatic stress disorder. It can cause alcohol, substance abuse, even sexual dysfunction, sleep disorders. So, now what is relaxation? As uh, you know, uh, you already put it, when you go out, you see birds, you look at the trees, or you are listen to some nice music, you go for a nice walk. Those are the times when we people feel relaxed. Now, what happens when you feel relaxed? Actually, your blood pressure goes down. It's been seen for a fact that when people have a good social support network, so suppose they have a lot of friends, and if there's something disturbing them, they call up a friend and talk to a friend. The soothing voice of a friend or a loved family member can actually lower your blood pressure. There have been studies on these. So, a good social circle is, along with relaxation exercises, along with some physical activities, these are all things that are important as academics, or as important as setting goals in your life. So what in relaxation, like I said, for some people it may be doing nothing and maybe just taking a nice nap. है ना? For some people it may be going trekking, cycling, dancing. But for everyone, it means feeling no pressure, feeling at peace, calm, serene. So you have to see for yourself what makes you relaxed. There's some people who might want to take a nice long hot bath and that relaxes them. There are other people who might want to talk to a friend. So they're all different things. Now, like I said, the first step is to become aware of stressors and how you react to them. है ना? So first of all, in this, how do we change our stressors? How do we, suppose someone is feeling unappreciated? Like, for example, there was this girl called Sabah. Her name, I've changed her name. So she used to feel unappreciated. She used to feel low, depressed, because her sister was an extrovert and everyone loved her, But she herself was someone who couldn't talk much. So she used to be negative with her own self. She used to compare herself to her sister. So when she became aware of her own strengths, that helped her to become aware that she also was a person who was doing well in whatever she wanted to do, and she had her own strengths. Her sister had her strengths, but she had her own different strengths, and that she need not compare herself to her sister. So that is the moment when she started to feel better. So first of all, we have to identify what are the things that are making us feel under stress. So for some people, they may be unhelpful thinking habits. For example, some people tend to magnify problems and they tend to minimize their own strengths. Some people may tend to awfulize the situation that, oh, this is the most awful thing that could have happened. Then a negative comparison with others. Or there's some people who feel that, why is life not fair? It should always be fair. Whereas life is something that is, in fact, never really fair, but always up and down. So once you identify those problems, then you make a plan for them. For example, there are people who may have anxiety. So for anxiety, it's very useful to make a plan for your anxiety. For example, if I practice deep breathing every day, only then will I be able to do it when I'm anxious. If I do not practice it every day, then I will not be able to do it at that time. So what is important is to make a plan and then to stick to it and then to carry it out when you're feeling anxious. Along with that, I would like to actually ask all of you, and I hope you write it in your chats, that what are the things that you do to relax? Do you take out 15 minutes for yourself in the morning? Do you try some breathing exercises? Do you try progressive muscle relaxation or visual imagery? Now that you're all sitting here, can we do a very simple exercise? So I would like you right now to just close your eyes and just visualize yourself that you're sitting in a calm, quiet place. Maybe you're sitting on the beach in Goa and there are very few people around. Just visualize yourself that you're sitting there, the sand is there under your legs, you're sitting cross legged, and then you slowly stretch out your legs and feel the sand. Feel the sand under your legs and your hands. Feel the warm sun upon your face. Feel the light of the sun slowly entering your body through your forehead and slowly going down your spine, slowly going into your arms. Feel the warmth of the sun and the light of the sun as it relaxes you. And observe the sound of the waves as the waves roll in and slowly settle down upon the sand. And just observe that it's a calm, quiet beach and you're sitting there comfortably and your focus is just on the sound of the waves and the warmth of the sun and the feel of the fine sand under your fingers. Just feel yourself sitting over there and you feel a sense of calm and sense of peace. Now, slowly open your eyes. So now this is just a simple visual imagery exercise, which a person can do whenever they want. In fact, I remember that, at times in medical college or even later, when you're feeling stressed, you've got so many things on your mind. At times, I would just put on a video on YouTube of visualization exercise on the beach and just lie down and listen to that. And you can actually feel your blood pressure going down. You can feel yourself relaxing. So there are many different relaxation exercises of which one of them is this. Another very simple one is progressive muscle relaxation. Now, progressive muscle relaxation is of two types. One of them is just lying down, and which is the most common one you will find on YouTube, is where they slowly tell you, okay, start relaxing your toes. So, even now, as you're sitting, I want you to just quickly do a quick progressive muscle relaxation. So, I'll ask you to first start relaxing your toes. Feel your toes becoming loose and relaxed. Feel a warmth in your toes as they relax. Slowly feel the soles of your feet muscles relaxing. Slowly feel your ankle muscles relaxing and becoming loose. Feel the relaxation gradually coming into your legs, your calf muscles, your shin muscles. Feel the muscles of your calves, your shin, ankles, feet, toes, just becoming loose and relaxed. Feel the weight of your legs. Now slowly feel the thigh muscles relaxing and becoming loose. And slowly feel all your legs becoming loose and relaxed. Now coming up, come into your lower back and buttocks and feel them relaxing. Feel the muscles becoming loose and relaxed. Slowly feel your stomach muscles relaxing. Then slowly your upper back, your chest, your shoulder muscles, and then coming to your forearms, your arms, and your hands. Feel your hands relaxing completely. Now, come up to your face and feel all your face muscles relaxing. Also, feel your neck muscles, shoulder muscles, the muscles around your eyes, and the muscles around your forehead. These are very important because without realizing it, often these muscles are very tense. So feel your eyes, your shoulder muscles, your face becoming completely loose and relaxed. Completely loose and relaxed. Feel your entire body becoming relaxed. Now you can slowly open your eyes. So this is just a simple Benson's progressive muscle relaxation. The other muscle relaxation exercise that people do is Jacobson's progressive muscle relaxation. So that is usually taught to people over 4 or 5 days. So we normally ask people to come for regular sessions for 4 or 5 days. And then we ask them to do that same exercise at home for at least 3 weeks. So it's been seen that when you do that exercise regularly for 2 3 weeks, then whenever you take a few deep breaths, your body becomes quite relaxed. So it's only through regular practice that this makes a difference. Of course, meditation, I'll come to meditation a little later. Yoga is again, it includes normal yogasans and of course pranayam. So in pranayam, there are some exercises which even in allopathy, we know that they reduce your blood pressure and relax you. And those are Anulom Vilom, Brahmari, and Om chanting. So if people can take out 10 minutes in the morning and just do anulom vilom. Only thing is that these exercises have to be learned. If you do it yourself, often a lot of times we find that people do them wrong. For example, in Anulom Vilom, a lot of people take a deep breath and they breathe into their chest, which is actually shallow breathing. It's not deep breathing. So people have to learn Anulom Vilom properly and Brahmari. Then these exercises are definitely helpful. But if someone is doing half an hour of Anulom Vilom every day, but doing it with their chest, then it's not really going to help them. Of course, regular practice is the key to success, and you all know that because you people have been regularly practicing, you've been regular with your academics, and that is why all of you are where you are. So, regular practice in this is the key. Of course, we don't always have to do only relaxation, there are many other things. People who have hobbies are usually much happier. For example, anything, painting, embroidery, gardening, bird watching, even going for a walk every day. Or now, why is bird watching helpful? I think bird watching is a lot like mindful meditation, because mindful meditation is all about focusing on the present. And bird watching, or when you go out for a walk and you notice the children playing there, you notice the trees around you, you try and you look at the flowers, and sometimes you see such a beautiful flower and you feel so happy, and you look at it and you think, oh my god, this is so beautiful, and how nature has created all these wonderful things. So that is the moment when we are present in the moment. We are not in the past, we are not in the future. So otherwise, half of the time we're either in the past or the future. So practicing some mindful activity every day is very helpful for people's overall physical and mental health. We try and divide the two, but there's no division. If your mental health is good, your physical health will also likely be good. And if your physical health is good, that is going to have an impact also on your mental health. Then, of course, like I already mentioned, why I'm emphasizing the social circle is because there has been a study which has been over many years. It's been over 20, 30 years, and they have seen that the one factor that helps in older age is people who have a good social circle or good social network. They're usually happier and more relaxed, and they live longer than people who do not have a good social circle. So, loneliness or being alone can be detrimental to your physical health also long term. So, that is why, if you have a good social circle, even if people are having problems in their marriage or there's a lot of hostility, it gets cut down. Because when you go out and meet a few friends, you drop all that negativity and you feel better. So, like I already said, when people talk to friends or a loved family member, the BP actually drops. So, these are just people take these things very lightly. But having a good social circle, if it reduces your blood pressure, or in the long term, if you live longer, so these are also equally important as watching your diet. Like people say, don't put on weight, watch your diet, avoid too many fats. So these, if by having less fat, you have a chance to live a longer life or a healthier life. It's not always about longer, but you have less chances of a heart disease or less chances of a stroke. So similarly, a social circle also does the same thing because your blood pressure is going to be less and you're going to live longer. There are studies to show this. You can actually look up those studies. Another thing that really helps people to relax is doing a good deed for someone. I don't know if you'll agree with that, but I think that's really true. Then, of course, having a positive mood. So, how do you have a positive mood? When you're in a good mood, you'll want to go out and do things. If a friend tells you, let's go here, you might say, okay, yes, let's go. When you're in a bad mood, you'll say, no, I don't want to go. So, positive mood is directly related to your motivation and your interest. So, your interest in doing things, your motivation to do things is if you are in a positive mood. So how do you build up a positive mood? Write two or three positive things about yourself or your life every day. Be gratitude is very important in one's life. Focus on what you can do now and forget about things that you have not been able to do. It's important to think, what can I do now? Be assertive and say no when needed. That is very important. Compliment yourself and say, hey, that was good. This is really important on a daily basis. I don't know how many of you do that. Do you ever tell yourselves that I'm happy I did this today, or I'm glad I did this today, or I did a good job? We are so quick with being negative with ourselves. It's also very important to be less negative with yourself and compliment yourself. Avoid putting yourself down and avoid comparisons. Remember one thing, there'll always be people better than you. Unless, of course, you're Einstein or Stephen Hawking, but there are always going to be some people who will be better in certain things. A person may be better at social interaction, as at talking to the boss. Another person may be better at relationships, and another person may be better than you at a certain project. You may do the next project better. So avoid comparisons, because comparisons again are going to make you feel less relaxed. So these are as important as doing relaxation exercises. Now, what do I mean by mantras? What I mean by mantras are that you should have a mantra for yourself. For example, telling yourself that, okay, take it one day at a time. Don't think of 10 things at one time, but just take it one day at a time. Cross bridges when bridges come. Hana? There is always another day. And there's a very famous Snoopy and Charlie Brown cartoon, in which they're both sitting by a riverside, and Charlie Brown is saying that, Snoopy, one day we both will die. And then Snoopy says, yes, but on other days we will not. So I think we need to appreciate the days that we have and live each day fully. Hana? So this is actually what positive mental health is. How you perceive yourself. If you perceive yourself in a positive way, or you focus on your strengths more than your weaknesses, then you'll have positive mental health. Then self-actualization, aiming towards autonomy or independence in your life, and being able to deal with ups and downs which come in our environment, our physical environment, mental environment, being able to deal with that. All these contribute to positive mental health. So I won't talk about, how myths of depression and all that, but I'll come to meditation. Now, what is meditation? So people do many different types of meditation. For example, there is Vipassana. I don't know how many of you know of that, but Vipassana is a 10-day course which is held, and you have to book it. It's held in many different cities. You are supposed to go there for 10 days, and you cannot talk to anyone. You just have to be there without your mobile, without any access to any television or technology, and you have to be quiet most of the time. But it is very useful. So, what Vipassana is, that it teaches you how to focus on your breathing, because your breathing is always there with you. It's the one thing that's there with you till you die. So, it's a way of focusing on the present. There are other types of meditation. For example, Tushita meditation is there in Dharamsala. And so, what happens in other forms of meditation is they may help you to focus on a particular object, maybe a candle which has been lit, or maybe the center of your forehead, or what we call the third eye, or maybe on one of the chakras in your body. So, there are many different types of meditation. What is very simple and what many people do these days is mindfulness meditation. So, mindfulness meditation is just, again, watching your breath, and uh, focusing on your normal breathing. Um, Basic thing about meditation is have a special place and specific time for meditation. Try and do it daily. Choose your time when your mind is not clouded with worries, maybe early in the morning. Sit up straight with your back, neck, and head in one line, and condition your mind so as to remain quiet for that much time. Maybe just start with 5 minutes and do it on a daily basis every day. Try it for 1 week. So, if you want right now, if you can all again close your eyes and just be aware of your body. Just be aware of how you're sitting. Bring your awareness to your feet, how your feet are in touch with the ground. Feel the weight of your feet. Feel the feet in touch with the ground. Then become aware of your legs, your back, your spine. Become aware of your arms, how your arms are sitting in your lap, how your hands are rested in your lap. Just become aware of it. Become aware of any tension that you may have in your shoulders or your neck. Become aware of your face, the top of your head. Now, slowly bring your awareness to your breathing. As you breathe in, feel the air going in through your nostrils. As you breathe out, feel the air coming out. As you breathe in, you might observe that the air is slightly cooler as you breathe in. And as you breathe out from your nostrils, the air becomes slightly warmer as it gets warmed in the lungs. Just simply observe this. Your breathing as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Observe your ribs expanding and falling as you breathe in and out. Now you may find that you get some thoughts, maybe, oh, I have to do this or I have to do that, or just any thoughts. So let the thoughts come, let the thoughts be, and then slowly bring your awareness back to your breathing again. Just observe your breathing. Your breathing is something that is always with you. Whenever you want, you can just again focus on your breathing and just observe it. And anytime any thoughts come into your mind, let them come and then again bring your awareness back to your breathing. Now, I just want you now to take 3 deep breaths. This is different from mindful meditation. So, deep breathing is not usually done in mindful meditation. But why I want you to take 3 deep breaths is because this is one. I mean, a lot of times people will tell you that, okay, I'm feeling nervous, and people will say, okay, take 2, 3 deep breaths. Or someone will say, I'm getting angry, and people will say, okay, relax, take 2, 3 deep breaths. So, what do you mean by deep breathing? Deep breathing means that keep one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach. Now, when you breathe in, take a deep breath, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And as you breathe in, feel your stomach expand. So your stomach should expand more than your chest. So take a deep breath in. And when you breathe out, try and breathe out from your mouth and feel your stomach going in. Now again, take a deep breath in and count to 6 and feel your stomach expand. And as you breathe out, again, breathe out from your mouth and feel your stomach going in. So this is just called deep abdominal breathing. And it's something that if you can do just 3 deep breaths in a day, what deep breathing does is it activates your parasympathetic nervous system. Your parasympathetic nervous system decreases your blood pressure, decreases your heart rate. It actually counteracts the sympathetic nervous system. Our sympathetic nervous system is what releases adrenaline, noradrenaline, and at times of extreme stress, the BP can shoot up. So, if you can take 2, 3 deep breaths on a regular basis, it just helps us that when we are in a little stressful situation, when we take 2, 3 deep breaths, then it automatically relaxes us. So now about meditation, like even watching the birds, or there is something called mindful walking. If you can even put on a mindful walking video, and when you go out, audio, and when you go out for a walk, just listen to it. So for example, if today you have time after this, go out for 5 minutes or 10 minutes and just walk listening to that video. What it tells you is that just observe your feet as it's coming in touch with the Mother Earth. Your left foot coming in touch with the Mother Earth, your right foot coming in touch. Observe the sky above you, observe the air around you, observe your hands as they're moving, observe the environment around you. So, what it helps you to do is to be aware of the moment. Otherwise, what we all do is half of the time we are not in the present moment. Even when we are walking, we are thinking of something else. And that constant thinking can interfere with many things. People who are more relaxed are more likely to end up making more rational and better decisions. People who are more relaxed are likely to not feel regret at any decision they have made, also. They're more likely to take things with more equanimity. So, meditation helps you to become more self aware, and it helps you to gain more control over your emotions. That's why these days mindfulness meditation is being taught to children in countries like the US in schools. So, meditation helps in concentration on a single thing. It's easier if you do it consistently, practice it over time. It is basically a non-judgmental, self-accepting. It helps you to accept yourself. It's non-judgmental, and it's part of a holistic lifestyle for vibrant health. It also helps you to learn to let go of things over which you do not have control, and learning to let go of things which are bothering you. A meditation, as you all may already know, actually increases the gray matter in your brain, and it actually decreases the activity in the emotional or the me area. So, our emotional area is the one which is constantly preoccupied with our own selves. That why is this happening to me? Why is this not happening to me? What do I do about this? How do I do this in my life? So, it helps to decrease that, and it helps you to focus on other areas. So I think if you can practice a little bit of, I have written over here examples of meditation, anapan meditation. So ana is breathing in, pana is breathing out. So this is uh, a type of vipassana meditation which you will find short 10-minute videos by Goenka ji on YouTube if you type Anapan meditation. And mountain meditation is actually one of my personal favorites. So that is why I have written this over here. It's there by many different people, but one of them is someone called John Kabat-Zinn, who actually introduced mindful meditation to the West. Of course, the East, China, Burma, India already had it, but it was introduced there by John Kabat-Zinn. So it's a very nice meditation where again it starts off with focusing on your breathing, and then it likens you to a mountain, and that how a mountain is always steady, and the summer may come, the winter may come, there may be snow, there may be rain or hail, but again, after some time, the sun will come out and the mountain will remain steady through it all. So it is a good meditation to do, especially when one is feeling troubled or uh, tense. It kind of reminds you that, ups and downs will come and go, and you can pull through them all. And in fact, the the downs are equally important because they also help you to build your character and build your strength and get and you grow as a person. So these are just some of the things I wanted to talk about today. I think I'll leave it open for some questions now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now the session is open for asking your queries. I would like to request each one of the participants, please feel free to share your queries and ask your queries directly.
So I basically just made you do 2-3 exercises today called visualization exercises and mindful meditation and a simple progressive muscle relaxation. What I wanted to emphasize was that uh, it's important to first be aware of what is stressing you out. Is it your own perception of things? Is it something around you? Then, secondly, how you can have different things in your daily routine. If you can have a little bit of physical exercise, 20-30 minutes, along with 10 minutes of meditation. If not every day, then maybe alternate days, because these are things that are going to help you in the long run. Tomorrow you're going to be working somewhere, you have deadlines to meet, you have pressure on you, you have a boss criticizing you. So if you have certain skills which help you to deal with these situations, that is going to maybe be the difference between your being able to deal with the situation and otherwise getting upset and getting your blood pressure high. And we find so many people who end up coming to the hospital and to the cardiology department with panic attacks, and they all think that maybe they're having a heart attack or um, uh, something like that. So these are very important exercises which, if you can incorporate into your daily lifestyle, or at least try out some of them, the anapan meditation for 10 minutes or the mountain meditation, these I that is why I discussed the other things with you, that they are equally important as focusing on your academics or focusing on uh, you know your marks or extracurricular activities.